My name is Lori Franks, and this is my professional learning plan. I received my undergraduate degree from the University of Alabama, my master's degree from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and last May I completed my education specialist degree from the University of West Alabama. All of my degrees have been in elementary education, and I am certified to teach kindergarten through 6th grade. I'm currently a 4th grade teacher at North Highland Elementary. North Highland is located in Hueytown, Alabama, and is part of the Jefferson County school system. I've had many professional experiences. I taught 2nd grade for 6 years. After 6 years, my principal approached me about becoming a reading and math interventionist. I like working with at-risk students and collaborating with teachers. One of my responsibilities as the Title I interventionist was to work with federal programs at the central office. I was responsible for making sure that teachers understood what types of documentation we needed to keep since we were a Title I school. We lost a few units and the principal needed me to go back into the classroom, and I moved to 3rd grade. I had the opportunity to loop with my 3rd graders to 4th grade. Looping was a wonderful experience for both my students and myself. While working on my EDS, I had the opportunity to conduct research on reading instruction. The research I read supported the notion that in order for students to become better readers, they needed time to practice reading. Our school district adopted a new reading program several years ago. I didn't and still don't like all the demands that have been placed on teachers while teaching reading. I don't think it meshes with what research says is best. This summer, I have been on a mission to research how I can use the mandated reading program but implement best practice. I have come across 2 books, The Daily 5 and Cafe. Several teachers at my school are participating in professional development through a book club. We are reading the books and then having discussions regarding how we can implement this into the classroom. I believe this approach aligns with what the research says is best practice. It allows students to have choice and gives ample time for students to practice reading in a meaningful and engaging manner. This appeals to me because I think it will benefit my students, and I will no longer spend time creating something to keep the students busy while I work with small groups. My short-term goal is to begin implementing the Daily 5 in my classroom when school begins. My long-term goal is to prove that using this best practice approach will have a positive effect on student achievement. This will be seen in students' report card grades, quarterly reading assessments, and ART Plus data. I want to achieve this goal because I want my students to become lifelong learners and lovers of reading. In order to implement the Daily 5, I must participate in ongoing professional development. I've shown my reading coach the research, and she is willing to help me implement this in my classroom. She and I will co-teach, and she will come in and model any lessons I would like her to. I must increase my knowledge in the Daily 5 and the Cafe approach. I will continue to research and read articles regarding effective reading instruction. To optimize my effectiveness, I will invite my reading coach, principal, and elementary supervisor into my room to give constructive feedback. I will also share my research with my colleagues and invite them to come into my room and see how effective the Daily 5 is while still using the skills from the mandated reading program. I hope that in 2 years, the Daily 5 will be used throughout the whole school and even the school district. There are several barriers that I will face. We currently have a mandated reading program. The program isn't scripted, but the skills in the program must be taught according to the pacing guide. I am working on writing a plan detailing how I will cover each standard. I'm in the process of also developing mini lessons that teach the reading skill for the week using the reading program. My principal has given me permission to do this as long as I can show her how I'm meeting the course of study and keeping up with the pacing guide. As we move to the Common Core reading standards, I believe administration at both the central office and at the local school will see how using the Daily 5 complements the Common Core standards. I think the Common Core standards will help me overcome barriers and obstacles because the administration has already stated that we will have a new reading program next school year because the current program doesn't meet the Common Core. My reading coach will be an excellent resource to help me overcome any barriers. She fully supports my mission and believes student achievement will increase by using the Daily 5 concept. I will use both formative and summative assessment to assess my plan. I will use quarterly reading benchmark assessment to determine students' strengths and weaknesses. I will use the data from these assessments to plan lessons that indicate whole group reteaching, as well as use the data to form small groups based on individual needs. At the end of the first year, I will use ARC Plus data. I will compare the data to the class I just had to compare, since those students did not participate in the Daily 5. I will document my accomplishments by sharing the results to my faculty and to central office. This learning plan is very meaningful to me. For the past 2 years, I have not been satisfied with my reading instruction. Through research and conversation with my reading coach, I now believe I am developing a plan that will promote student achievement and create a love of reading for all students.